Hello, my friends, and welcome back to I'm Diabetic with Anthony. Did you know that there are certain nuts that could be problematic for diabetics to eat? Would you like to know why and which ones they are? Well, continue watching the video to find out. But before we begin, I would like to give a quick shout out to a good friend of mine in the Toronto area. She's not doing well right now, so I hope she gets well much quicker and better, and she knows who she is. All right, I'm Diabetic with Anthony starts right now. All right, so now before I provide you with a list of what those nuts are, I'm going to tell you what the nutritional values are in them because they all have the same ones. This way it will prevent me from repeating myself. So here we go. They all have the following. The first one is insoluble and soluble fiber, followed by super high in iron, protein, and magnesium, and all of your B vitamins. Now, I'm going to provide you with the list of what these nuts are. There's about four of them, and I'll be providing you this list according to their total sugar number. And this is very important, and I will explain this after I provide you with the list as to why the total sugar number is very important. So here we go. The first one you're looking at walnuts. Half a cup. The carb count is 7, followed by the sugar count is 2. Sorry, 3. Add those up, and you're looking at a total amount of sugar being 10. This is very important. Next, you're looking at almonds. Half a cup. The carb count is 5. The sugar count is 7. Your total sugar amount here is approximately 12. Next, you are looking at peanuts. Half a cup. The carb count is 7. The sugar count is 7. Total sugar amount is 14. Followed by pistachios. Half a cup. The carb count is 16. Sugar count is 2. Total sugar amount approximately 19. So now, my friends, I'm going to explain to you why the total amount of sugar is very important. Now, when you're diabetic, type 1 or 2, you have to understand that it's not just the amount of sugar in the product you're going to eat. You have to count the total carb number too. So you add the carb number and the sugar number together, and that will give you your total sugar count. Plus, the serving size also matters. Don't just look at the package and read, oh, the package has only 3 grams of sugar and think that's safe for us. No, my friends. You have to count the carb count because as a diabetic, you must understand that everything we eat turns to sugar, not just the sugar, which means the carbs turn to sugar. And you have to add both of those to get your total amount of sugar. Because if there's too much sugar in our body being circulated, well, then it becomes a health issue throughout our whole body. So, my friends, getting the total sugar count is very important. So let me give you an example. I don't have the special technology to do this, but I'll just go over the walnut count that we just did for the first one to give you an example, an idea of what I'm talking about. So if you're looking at walnuts, you read the back and look at the serving size first of all, and then you look at the carb count. The carb count says 7. Note that. Then the sugar count says 2. Once again, don't just look at their sugar count and say, well, it's 2 in half a cup and it's safe. No, you got to look at the carb count, which is 7. You add those up and you get your number of 7 plus 3 is approximately 10. So, which is safe for diabetics. Now, you're probably saying, well, the glycemic index system, which I also looked at, tells you it is very low. Well, my friends, don't just look at the glycemic index system. The glycemic index system just tells you how quickly they turn to sugar. That's right. It doesn't tell you what the total sugar amount is. So once again, be very clear on this. Now you're probably wondering, well, how did I know all about this? Well, because I've been a diabetic for 20 years and I've learned a few things. while being a diabetic for 20 years, such as what works, what doesn't, tricks, tips, and hacks. And this is one thing that I learned while being a diabetic, that you have to test your food every time you eat it approximately 1 hour later to see how it affected your blood sugar number. Testing is very important because why you're saying 1 hour later rather than 2 hour later, 2 hours later? Well, because this is when our peak happens. And the peak is when lots of health issues happen. And this is when the food that you eat, you'll get a better result as to how it affected your blood sugar number. And also, you will be able to incorporate that food in ways that it will not affect your blood sugar number. Now, you're going to say, well, we've been told 2 hours later. Why can't we do it 2 hours later? Well, if you're a type 2 diabetic or a type 1 diabetic, you understand that we have problems with our pancreas. For type 2, it doesn't work too well. For type 1, well, it doesn't work at all. So it's going to take our pancreas a little bit longer to push out insulin in order for that blood sugar to go down. So when you check your spike numbers, you'll know how exactly it affected your blood sugar numbers. So testing is very important. And also, when you figure out what your peak is, you'll also know how it's been affecting your overall health because it also affects our overall health. For example, when we go to our doctor and get our blood work numbers done, they tell us that, well, you know what? Your blood sugar is doing pretty well, hasn't changed, but now you have, blood pressure, other issues throughout your overall health, and problems start. But they don't associate this with spikes because by the time you get to your doctor and have that blood work done, well, your blood sugar is going to be probably normal or just about right, and they will not associate that with that spike. Now, the spike is also problematic for non-diabetics because of the same issue. It will cause health problems. Also, the spike causes weight gain. Now, we're talking about how diabetes affects weight gain. I got a few comments saying, well, just watch your food intake, do your exercises, and all that. Yes, that works when you're looking at it, other than looking at it as a diabetic. But when you're diabetic, one or two, us diabetics understand that having high numbers will make us gain weight because all that sugar being floating around in our body gets stored as fat and we will gain weight. So, understanding how food spikes your blood sugar numbers will also help you control weight issues. So, I hope this is clear for people that are watching this video and are not diabetic and don't understand what diabetes is all about. I will repeat this. Weight gain in terms related to diabetes is different from what non-diabetics know about weight gain. Exercise, do all your watching your diet. Yes, that helps for being non-diabetic and losing weight that way. But when you're diabetic, it's a whole ball game. So be careful how you comment on videos that are for diabetics only. This is very important as well. All right, that's it for now. Please continue to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. So this way, YouTube will let you know every time I put up a new video. I try to post videos on a weekly basis as time and scheduling permits. And also, don't forget, all carbs turn to sugar, and knowledge is power. That's it for now, and we'll see you soon. Bye.